Welcome back to High, Wide, and Handsome, a racing podcast right here on the Arson Brothers Network. I am Matt Klein, joined by the full gang tonight. Mr. Jeff Griffith, Mr. Michael Sizemore, Mr. Sean Allen. Gang's out here. Before we start, give some well wishes to our Arson brother, AB Ninja, Jamie Marshall. Dealing with a little bit of medical issues. We certainly hope he gets that taken care of quick, gets back on his feet, but wanted to give him a good old shout out here.
He'll be back on the track in no time.
That's right.
Oh, you love you, Ninja.
Yes, sir. We love you, Ninja. Gentlemen, how we been doing since we last met here? We'll jump around the horn. We'll start down there with you, Sean.
Well, boys, the remodeling continues. As days go by, we're losing a little bit more sanity and a little bit more money, but it's okay. we're told tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day we're to be finished. So we're excited about that. The guys who've done it have done an outstanding job and have met all my wife's demands, which is something I've been trying to do for almost 20 years. And I will say that because I know she will never watch this. But let's do it. That's where we are. We're still surviving. So tomorrow we'll be finished.
Cool. Very nice. Yeah, well, that's awesome. It'll be good to see that come to fruition, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Size, how you been, sir? What you been up to?
Man, been good. It's my work week, so I've been slaving away, grinding it out. Went to Tazewell today. Ate at the Happy Goat. I keep confusing it with the local goat, which is the one in Pigeon Forge.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Goat in Tazewell. Delicious Italian sandwich. So
nice.
If you're in Tazewell, definitely check out the Happy Goat. And also, if you're in Tazewell, this should air on Wednesday. On Thursday, May 21st, I'll be hosting trivia at Be Noodled. Tazewell, Virginia. Be Noodled at 6:30 p.m. on Wednesday, May the 21st. So come on out if you're in the Tazewell County area. You want to answer some trivia questions.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a good time. And yeah, definitely want to check out that Happy Goat place. You had me some snaps earlier. Like, woo.
Yeah, it was delicious.
What I took from that is Size is building a brand behind our back.
I know, right?
Well, I had to borrow the AB audio equipment from Matt to make it work, so not fully behind y'all's back, stealing y'all's stuff to do it.
Still got a little AB shadow there. It's all right. No, love it.
That's awesome.
Jeff, bro, how about you, sir? What you been doing?
Oh man, I've between work and racing, I did manage to make it to the Chuck Mathena Center, and I saw there was a Prince tribute show that we went to, and that was awesome. So we spent all Saturday night just jamming out to some Prince tunes like it's 1999, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good time, man.
Nice, yeah, that sounds like a fine time to me.
Hey, maybe you can watch a little racing where somebody drives a little red Corvette.
Hey,
No?
There you go. I just want your kiss. All right. I snuck down to Tennessee, down to the Pigeon Forge area for the weekend. Went to Dollywood. Almost melted in Dollywood. It got so hot. It was 96 at one point there. We picked a hot day to go. And we did it was the Food and Flower, the Spring Festival. So, we had to get that tasting pass, which was awesome. But, man, by the end of that heat, I was struggling.
Yeah. I'm going to assume that if someone subscribes to Arson Brothers Network on YouTube, they're going to see some footage of that tasting pass in action.
You would assume correctly. Ooh. We did film a video, checked out those eats. I think we got 5 of them. So, yeah, we got that. Also, still got that one from the Petting Zoo, as we talked about last week. I got off schedule a bit, missed that drop on Friday. So, at least a couple of cool videos coming your way soon here on the Arson Brothers Network. Absolutely.
You know what I love is if you've been with us since our reboot, you have literally lived with us through thinking we were all going to freeze to death at any minute for months to now we are all literally melting. So, yeah. If you've been through all this with us, we appreciate you.
Absolutely, we do. And anyone checking out that's here and who are watching these other videos on the channel, everything we do, we really do appreciate it a ton. Yeah, we've grown a bit here lately, and we appreciate each and every one of you. We really do.
I think we actually mentioned last week's episode we had maybe the most views we've had, to my knowledge, so far, just on the YouTube side of things here. So big shout out to everybody that's checking us out. And if you're enjoying it, tell a friend, tell them to come check it out and subscribe, and we'll keep giving you stuff.
That's right. We're coming for you, Dale Jr.
Drop us some comments. We'll talk whatever racing you want to talk in the comments. So,
Oh, yeah.
If you want to chit chat about some race cars, we're the guys to do it with.
That's right. And that leads us to time to do that very thing. We're going to chit chat about some race cars indeed, as it was All-Star weekend, for better or for worse. Let's roll right into it. And that puts us on the lead lap, where we break down this thing they call NASCAR. In Dover, Delaware this weekend, we'll start with the truckers, where we saw Kyle Busch back in victory lane, his 5th career truck race win at Dover. Dominated a lot of the day, kind of got interesting there late, as at first they told Kyle Busch he could go hard, then they put him back in fuel save mode, and we saw Tom Majeski absolutely running him down in the top lane, putting on a good show up there, but would not be enough to seal the deal.
No, man, Kyle was on a heater the other night. I mean, and getting that 69th win, which he was very happy to go on about afterwards.
Wait, does the same rules apply for people who watch this podcast as door bumper clear when Kyle wins? I'm just curious. I'm going to
tell you, it absolutely is not true for me. So
there you have it.
Man, great run for Kyle, doing the Kyle thing in the truck race, dominating. If those boys want to get on his level, they're gonna have to level up, because we know Kyle is the GOAT when it comes to them trucks. Even though size, I can see the heat loading in his eyes right now. Rowdy getting it done in those trucks is what we love to see. Size, take it away.
Kyle Busch won a truck race. Okay. Nobody's shocked.
Well, let's be clear. He didn't just win a truck race. He led the most laps. He had the fastest lap. He started on the pole. And it was more than just a win, right?
Kyle Busch ran very well in a NASCAR Craftsman Series truck race. Okay.
Glad you got the sponsor down. Come on, man. He whipped them in that truck. That's what he did. He took a Craftsman belt to somebody. That's what he did in that truck race. That's what he does.
Yeah, I'm sure. If the top drivers in NASCAR decided they want to go down and just run truck races, they'd probably take the same Craftsman belt to the truck drivers.
Well, on that note, worth mentioning, we also saw Christopher Bell as well as Ross Chastain in the field, some other Cup drivers. For comparison, Ross looked like he was off to a great start. I thought he was the only one who may have had something for Kyle Busch at one point, but I don't know what that strategy call that they made was, but it was certainly not the right one.
It was an odd one, that's for sure. Now, Ross ran really well in every race this weekend. None of the results really show it for the really most part.
Yeah.
I think on Size's point there about the Cup drivers coming down and running, man, Carson is – what an interesting guy in the truck series. It's either on like Donkey Kong or it's not. Yeah. So I'm not sure that everybody does that Size that comes down, because it's either all in or nothing, it feels like for him. But it is what it is.
Let's put all 36 or whatever Cup drivers in trucks, and let's see how Kyle Busch does then.
I bet you he would do very well.
Actually, he probably would.
Because he's got more experience than any of them. So.
Give them all 5 years to practice trucks.
I'm just trying to brace myself, because that was almost close to Size admitting Kyle was good. So there we go.
I've never said he's a bad driver. I mean, he is now, but historically, Kyle Busch is not a bad driver. Just a driver I don't like, and now he gets his wins by beating up on children.
There you go. The hot take, if you will. Speaking on Carson, another miserable day in the trucks for Carson. It does seem to be their sink or swim when he's in that 77. They had vibration and end up with right front damage, flat tire, just kind of a unforgiving day.
Carson, like you said, I mean, he's always got speed, but those trucks, and like Sean was saying, it does seem it's very much feast or famine with him. When he runs well, but I don't know. I don't know if if it's driver error, machine error, or what, but not sure what's going on there.
So another good run from our newly dubbed Mr. Perfect, Caden Honeycutt. Ended up fourth, ran in that top 5 all day against, as we are talking here, a obviously highly talented field. So I thought another very impressive day for him.
Yeah, Caden was looking good, man. I was happy to see him get another top 5 and keep that points lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Up 38 over Lane Riggs.
And Lane was like he was trying to make a run for it there at different times too. I mean, it was a good truck race. Also worth mentioning that we had I think to my knowledge it was historic, was 3 of the women drivers starting on this truck race.
Yeah, absolutely worth mentioning. So Destiny Spurlock make her Truck Series debut, tried at Watkins Glen, didn't get in, got in this weekend. Unfortunately, he did do a little overcorrected there as a spin and got into the wall. We also saw Luke Baldwin take a very hard shot. He got loose, kind of overcorrected well, but he took a hard shot as well.
Yeah.
Also had one of the women claim she's never going to run a truck race again after this weekend.
That was...
Yeah, I was wondering if we were going to talk about the whole Natalie Decker thing.
I mean, I don't have enough knowledge on her. I mean, I've seen her in trucks and stuff for the last few years. She doesn't perform all that great, but I mean, there's a lot of drivers that don't do that. So I don't have any knowledge outside of what I've seen of her on the track to really comment about the situation with her. But I mean, she's not a great driver, but there's a lot of people who drive in NASCAR who are in that kind of situation. So whatever.
Well, I think this could maybe go back to just the approval process thing. And like, I mean, who knows, but I'm like you. I don't have enough knowledge of her, really, the situation. But what I do know is like what I heard on that radio sounds like that's like somebody that was like potentially could have been a danger to the other drivers as well, just the situation they were in mentally. And that's where I worry. I mean, I'm all for it, man. If she's got the talent, she can do it. I'm pulling for her. I just don't want nobody to become victim to somebody having a possible mental breakdown behind the wheel.
Yeah.
Well, and with you all, I don't know a ton about her. I do know that she's raced locally, various places, and it sounds like she's done a good job. I actually heard Kenny Wallace talking about her this week, saying that she has talent, but she needs reps. And I think of it is if she's in over her head right now on the trucks. I know she's running a part-time schedule. I think who in the world decided that Dover was the place to send her? That's the thing for me, because there are some places you can go and you can be slower and sort of blend in and do fine, but Dover ain't that place. We saw some really good drivers have trouble. We'll get to the cup race in a little bit, but I mean, so I don't know if that's the place for it, man. It's just unfortunate because when you're in that situation, I imagine that it is very frustrating, and she sort of had an outburst in handling that, so it's unfortunate.
For being Natalie's an odd one, and speaking of that approval process, I mean, she's ran top 10 in an O'Reilly race at Daytona before. Like, she's had good runs. She's been around for longer than it seems as well. She's been around for a handful of years. She's had a good start. It's like, I think the thought of taking her to Dover probably didn't trigger much because she's been to a lot of these tracks in various places. However, it clearly did not work out. It seems to me, and I am far, far, far from the one to make any kind of comment on this, but since she left for her pregnancy and post-motherhood and come back, she seems to not be handling not even the driving as well, as much as we talked about the mental well. And I'm not one to knowledge to speak on any of that aspect, the mental side, the motherhood side or not, but just to the eye test, it does seem like that. And I don't know, whatever, there's a ton of pay drivers. I'm like, Size, you see it every day. She's got sponsors. I mean, it is what it is as far as that. But yeah, if we get to a point to where I feel like Jeff, like it was almost beginning like that gets detrimental to the race and more so potentially the competitors, then that is a problem. So I don't know. It's an odd situation, honestly.
It's one to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and I'll say, and I know I can probably speak for all of us, that we hope whatever it is, it gets turned around for her. Because I like Natalie, and like Matt said, I've enjoyed watching her in various races that she's been in that I have seen. So I really hope things get lined out for her, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously none of us have anything against drivers having mental health issues. I mean, all four of us can say Bubba's probably in our top 5 favorite drivers, and he's been very open about his issues with his mental health and stuff like that. So, whatever it is, I hope, like Bubba, she can get some help and get it fixed and, feel better about her time on the track or off the track, however she chooses to live her life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think we could kind of tie a bow on that by saying we're pulling for you, Natalie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Pulling for all these young ladies trying to get their career started. I think it's fantastic for the sport overall. I think we need more of that inclusion.
Absolutely.
That will move us along to the O'Reilly Series race, where we saw quite the finish between Corey Day, Justin Allgaier, and a lap car, if you will. Blake Lothian struggled to get out of the way with 4 laps to go. I feel like it looked like he panicked, didn't know whether to choose the top or the bottom, so he went to the middle, and that was the worst place he could have went. I think certainly no ill will was meant by his move, but it I guess arguably cost Allgaier the race. I don't know that Corey. I think Corey probably would have got him anyway, but obviously that's a what if scenario. But it allowed Corey Day to pull off a big pass, and it was an impressive pass. Even that going 3 wide for that pass. I mean, it's still nothing to take away. And Corey Day with his 2nd career victory. What you guys think?
Yeah.
Well, number one, I just want to say number one, I think that it was awesome that we got to see at least somewhat semi-frustrated Justin 3 weeks in a row after the race.
Yeah.
He's like kind of nice in his frustration. Like he was being nice to Mr. Lothian as he reprimanded him. But no, Corey Day starting to show the promise that we all know he has. I mean, like him or love him, he's here. And I'd say there's much bigger things in his future from the sounds of reports we've heard this week. It's looking more and more likely.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's time. First of all, I agree with you, Jeff. I really enjoyed watching. It was really cool that Justin went over and talked to the guy after the race. You could tell he was kind of, I don't know, it seemed like he was kind of building him up in some ways. So that was kind of interesting. But, man, Corey Day, I can't help but wonder, he just gets faster every week. Are we seeing sort of his Connor turn? That's what I'll call it, like we saw last season. And it's really interesting that those would be the 2 guys that were compared right now. More on that later, maybe. But man, he's just looking really good. I know the lap car was involved. That pass was outstanding. And Corey was doing everything he could to run down Justin, even without the lapper there. I mean, because he was flying, and he was absolutely coming at the end of that race.
Yeah, he impressed me. He was able, and nobody was able to do it all day. We saw Ross try it, and we'll talk a little bit more about Ross's day, but to get that top line worked in, and he searched it out, and coming from that dirt background, you can clearly see he searched it out as you do in a dirt track and found a high groove that nobody had been able to touch all day and really all weekend and made it work. And it was really incredible to see and impressive to be able to find that. He did, and that's something that we rarely see really get to that cushion at Dover in any series. It does happen occasionally. It hasn't really happened in a while, but I thought that was super impressive in and of itself.
I agree.
I know we'll talk about Ross more, but earlier, stage 2 or whatever, I was convinced Ross was going to win this race, and it just made me really happy at the end to see 2 O'Reilly Series regulars go out there and just showing out on the track, and Corey getting that great pass in there for the lead.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was a really good race. Ross doing Ross things. We'll get to that with the arrow blocking. Ross. You hear it said, Ross probably the hardest to pass, and I think he proved that in that race. Kind of baited Raja into a couple lines. When we speak on Raja's day, Raja had quite the up and down day. Ended up into it again with Jesse Love. Those two cannot not find each other, it seems.
Yeah, I don't know what Raja was fast and he would have great runs, and I don't know if the track was slick or what, but sometimes he would just I can't remember if it was Love or the other one, but it looked like he just scooted up the track into him.
Yeah, I think it was love. I mean, it was a tough day to be a Raja super fan. I'll tell you that, because he was looking so good. I mean, maybe the fastest car on the track there in the second stage, and then all at once, man. Gosh, that was heartbreaking, and I'm sure it was more heartbreaking for Jesse Love than it was for me. But yeah, man, that was rough. And then that second one, I mean, sort of the same thing but different, I think too. But man, that was a tough situation.
Yeah, what's the over-under on Jesse Love and Roger Cruz finally just getting it over with and fighting on pit road at some point this season?
I don't know that we'll see that. I'll watch it if it happens.
Oh, me too. I just don't think either guy has that personality.
They both seem quite mild-mannered.
Jesse's teammate, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know anybody wants that smoke. Big Country he's got a punch if he ain't got nothing else. We've seen it. I thought it was pretty good at O'Reilly race overall. I mean, I think this is race of the weekend, but that's not to diminish the Truck Series race. That is to diminish the All-Star race, which we'll get to.
but here's the thing. I feel like we say it just about every week, right? I mean, in general, I think. I mean, and like you said, man, it's not. I enjoy the truck races a lot too, but man, O'Reilly every week is like this anymore. I mean, how in the world could you have not watched those last few laps and not thought, man, this is the best race of the weekend? And it was like that throughout the race. It wasn't just you had a boring race and then got to the end. So that's
Yeah, I think a lot of times Cup races end up with a good finish and get a rep of being a better race than it was. O'Reilly, I mean, almost every week there's battling throughout the field constantly.
Yeah.
Number one racing series in America.
In our hearts, at least.
Yeah.
Saw Sam Mayer with the podium, another good day.
I was actually kind of pulling for Sam, man. He was showing that speed. I was kind of pulling for him to get up there and get the win.
Yeah, he was closing there as those two battled, certainly. Sam's having a pretty solid year.
Mm-hmm. And shout out to Alpha Prime.
Huge shout out. Yeah,
11th place finish for Brennan Poole.
Yeah, that was awesome. Great to see Brennan. I was right there at 10th until, the last handful of laps. I thought they were going to get a top 10, but ended up just outside. But that was awesome to see. And I thought LeVar, speaking of the Alpha Prime, looked like he had some speed, got collected up in some incidents. But I thought he was on track for a good showing before fell apart. We'll throw out a good day for Ryan Sieg, ended up 8th. And Anthony Alfredo, the other Viking Motorsports, finally getting a good run. Top 10 for him. I think that much needed. And unfortunately, we've talked about a lot. Parker Retzkoff, he did end up in a accident and end up with a last place finish after his tear of starting the year.
He was looking fast there at the start of the race.
Yeah,
got caught up in that early race accident.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gotten to the point now where it's not like a rare thing for him to be up front. It's like you almost expect it to the point where it's like you have to wonder where would he have been in the mix at the end of that race there, just because he's running right up front every week.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun to watch, fun to see. Point situation, Allgaier obviously still on top now, up 175 over second place. Sheldon Creed just dominating. From there, but the race between everyone else is very tight. So an interesting kind of situation there in the O'Reilly series as far as points. But Allgaier proving why he is the statesman.
Just constantly with, top 5, podium finishes, just so consistent. I mean, even if you're not winning the races, if you're staying that consistent, how do you beat that?
Yeah. Well, especially a lot of times the second place is behind a Cup guy, and it's still basically the max points for that. Worth thinking about too. But just impressive stuff from Allgaier and from the whole series.
O'Reilly, it's the top 12 in, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, man, so when you look at 12 down, that bubble spot is intense right now if you take a look at it. There's just a few points separating 12 through 14th, and so it's wild down there, man. It's anybody's race.
And wild, too, right there at that bubble, Brent Cruz in 13th, who didn't even run the first 5 races or so.
Yeah.
Very impressive stuff there,
Crazy.
too. He had his first kind of bad run and got caught up in the situation as well this weekend. But, still crazy impressive.
Yeah.
I saw, jumping back to the truck series, I saw that Corey Haim is finally out of the grouping there to make the chase in trucks.
No.
Took a while for him to fall from first, even without running hardly any races.
Yeah, that's wild too.
So he had to not run like 3 races to follow.
Speaking of truck points, something we didn't touch on, I'll touch real quick on. Corey LaJoie denied his request to transfer to move to the truck series points. He had originally declared, I guess, for the Cup series, thinking he was going to run some part-time when that Ram come up. That really surprised me. I thought that would be a little more forgiving on that, and even probably more so, especially with the Ram, the new manufacturer deal. That seems to get a little leadway. I don't know. I don't really like that rule anyway. I think if you got the points, you got the points. I mean, I don't want Cup guys running for these championships. That's not really what I'm saying, but I don't know. I think there's something to be adjusted here somewhere.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe if he'd applied in like March or something, he might have gotten it. It seemed kind of late in the season to me.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I could say there.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe they thought he's still wishy-washy, might leave, might go back to another ride type situation. Yeah, that may be true. It was interesting though. I really didn't expect it to get denied.
Yeah.
Hey, whenever you said that, it did make me think. I also wanted to say I think Ram is like that was like I think Collie and Ram, that was like one of their better looking weeks this week overall. Everybody was looking pretty good, and I mean Clint Boyer.
Yeah, we didn't even touch on the Boyer in the race.
Yeah,
that was a sight to see.
Yeah, it was a sight to see. I think, didn't it end early? Am I remembering that right?
It did.
Okay. I do remember he still got a post-race interview, though, but it was like he'd just kind of been hanging around in his fire suit a while waiting for that to happen.
But yeah, the Rams are getting better for sure. Back-to-back good runs for the overall team. And that with LaJoie, like I got it here somewhere. I think he's around 12th in points. Like that was why they decided, but I don't know. It's interesting stuff.
That is interesting. I hadn't heard that yet, so that's interesting.
All right. That'll move us into the big show, the All-Star race. Cup Series.
Oh, boy.
Before we get into that, I want to say, rejoice, race fans, for the Fox NASCAR coverage portion of our season is over. We survived.
It's prime time.
It is prime time, and we are so thankful.
Yeah, that's why they couldn't give Corey that. He's got broadcasting duties to take care of. So that's what's going on with that. Yes, and Prime, I don't have it in front of me, but they even released today who their guest analyst for every race was going to be. Man, it was an all-star lineup for that.
I remember Mark Martin at Nashville, Truex Jr. at Michigan, I think it was. But that surprised me just because he don't really do nothing.
What hole did they pull him out of?
Yeah, Keselowski was doing one, Jeff Gordon doing one. Yeah, it was really cool.
They pulled Truex out of whatever hole Aaron Rodgers is currently in. But yeah, man, but still a crazy lineup. I mean, almost all were champions. I think. I mean, it was a good looking lineup, man.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Hyped, genuinely hyped for that.
I'm excited for the Coke 600 already, and knowing that it's the first Prime race makes it even more exciting.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, if we can't get them all the time, that's a fun point to pick them up at the Coke 600. And I think it makes it into a bigger deal than it already is, and obviously a big deal. And the greatest day in motorsports in general that day with the Indy 500, of course.
Yeah. Speaking of broadcasting, I also saw, I talked about how great CW's coverage is, but they're going down a little bit this coming weekend. They've got one Dennis Hamlin in the booth this week. So I got to turn that volume down a little bit for that. But still. So I thought that was pretty cool, though. I was like, that's neat. Denny's going to do that. I don't remember him doing that before. So,
if so, it's rare. Yeah, that'll be a big addition for the O'Reilly coverage, certainly, regardless. But
what else do we want to talk about to prolong talking about the All-Star?
I know, right? That's what it feels like. We're mostly hyped for next weekend already. Well, let's start this thing though. We'll start with Friday. We saw the longest practice session that we've had all season for some reason for an exhibition race. I don't really understand that call first out the gate. I don't think a lot of the teams and drivers fully did either. Thought that was odd.
Well, I guess that was the. So here's the thing. This whole thing, they had to find a way to try to set this thing apart, right? And I guess that's part of it. It's like, hey, we need to have stuff all weekend. Yeah. So it's like, well, here's a really long practice for y'all. You know what I mean? That just really sets the vibe for how they tried to make this one special, I think.
Well, they tried.
They did.
Moves into qualifying, which I did think I always love All-Star qualifying, the lap with the multiple laps with the pit stop in it, and I thought it delivered again as far as the actual procedure that we saw some I don't know, over 10 cars have trouble in qualifying spin out. We saw amazing save during qualifying from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Looked like that so famous Jimmy Johnson save from Dover from a while back, pretty much identical actually. They're side by side. It's really cool to see that. And even we saw who went on to be the pole winner. Denny Hamlin spun before taking the green and then ran the pole. When I was to him talking today, he said he had a flat spot that he was just holding on, vibrating the whole time and put him on the dash, and it worked out. Now let me get back to my griping and what I don't like about this qualifying. I didn't like that the pit crew challenge was all encompassed into this. I think it took away from those pit guys. I guess I'm old school. I like that all separate. I say you give it all back. The engine builder competition, that was so much better and shine such a better light on them. But at least give them their own separate event, in my opinion. Yeah. And I think just the way that it affected qualifying, it was just odd.
Man, I was scrolling social media earlier, and a video came up of early 2000s pit crew challenge. It was Dale Jr.'s team, and he was in the 8, and Jamie McMurray's team in the 42. And it was just so cool to watch. You know, they did the pit stop, and then they had to jump over a wall and run down and get to their team's car and push it to the start-finish line. And it was so exciting and fun. It reminded me of back in NFL in the Pro Bowl when they would do the quarterback challenges and stuff like that. It kind of reminded me of stuff like that, but for the pit crew to get to show off. And man, I wish we'd go back to that. That was just awesome.
Couldn't agree more.
Absolutely.
That brought us to.
Do we want to talk about the race or not?
That would. Here's the weird thing. I thought it was a fairly decent. It was actually okay. It's so weird, but it's because it was technically 2 races. This is the first part of the problem.
Which race did you like?
It was broken into 3 segments. However, segment 1 and 2 are officially a race, and then segment 3 is officially a race. All of which encompassed together, and we ran it all together, ended up being 50 less laps than what a points race is at this track, which I'm not for. We had the full field in. Everyone started. No. I mean, some guys were locked in to the All-Star race, but they didn't even get a race as they crashed. So what was the point of that?
See, man, I think I know what you're getting at because you and I've talked about this a little bit. If you took this thing in a microcosm and said, "Hey, this is a 400-lap Dover race," if you had that exact same race with the exact same style of racing, the passing, the chaos, you'd be like, for Dover standards, that was a pretty good race. Yeah. But from what you're describing right now is in itself all the problems. You're saying we had an all-star race. Okay, y'all know, I'm obviously a big Chase Elliott and Kyle Arson fan. I never saw either of those guys in the all-star race. Yeah. It's nuts. We were talking about, Matt Size just broke down about how the pit crew challenge everything used to be. Man, I saw a video online of, I think it was from the 2016 Open, and looking at about how cool it was to see these young guys who don't always get the spotlight on them, going out there and trying to earn their way in. I don't know. I mean, we saw some dudes ahead that we don't always see get some pretty decent finishes, and that's cool for them. But it was because of the absolute chaos that ensued in those first 2, segments, races, whatever they were. But but that's the conflicting thing. If you just took it as just a Dover race, it would have been a decent race, but not for this.
Well, there should, and we will say this: some good runs from some dudes, but that should never ever be a conversation that we have for an all-star race. I should not say, look at Eric Jones with a podium in an all-star race that he, no offense to Eric Jones, I like Eric Jones, didn't earn his way to be in.
Unless he won the Open beforehand.
But that's the thing. Eric Jones I would argue that he looked good enough that he maybe could have won an Open, right? And that's something he could hang his hat on and say, "Hey, I won that thing and I raced my way in." But the man don't even get that.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a lot of Larson and Elliott fans like Sean, and to me, having them in these prelim races to where they get knocked out of the All-Star races be like the NBA, like saying, okay, LeBron and Kevin Durant, you guys are going to have to go out there and play a 40-minute game of ball before the All-Star game and twist your ankle, blow your knee out or whatever, and not get to play in it. Or the NFL telling like Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow that they've got to climb up Mount Everest before they get to play in the Pro Bowl. Like, why are you risking these guys who are your all-stars, who are your money makers, who sell your merch, who people are there to see race in an all-star race, which is supposed to be the best, the all-star competition in the sport? Why are you risking sending them out in these prelim races where they can tear their cars up and they don't even get a race?
Yeah. And then if I can bring up real quick another point that I'm sure, Matt, you probably have in your notes.
Oh, you're good.
Right. Since 1992, we've raced this thing at night. Literally, the tagline, one hot night. I mean, that's when you get the speed of the sparks fly. There's something different about it being at night. And then that's my entire fandom, right? I don't remember races pre-92. I'm sorry, y'all. I know how old y'all think I am, but I really don't remember those. I mean, like, who has ever thought, you know what? That really special, cool exhibition race, let's race it at 1 o'clock in the day. Like, let's make sure Sean barely makes it home in time from church to see the first segment. I mean, it's insane. Like, I don't get it.
I felt so awkward because – I love 1 p.m. Cup race start times. So it's like, all right, 1 p.m. Cup race start time, but not for the All-Star race. Just start any other race at 1 p.m. I'll be so happy.
Yeah, the earliest starting time of the year for the All-Star race. Odd.
It's so weird.
Well, the other thing that I wanted to bring up is, like, just with this format as well. I mean, like, we kind of was beating around this here. I'm talking about this, I should say. But, okay, like, you had your Chase Elliott, your Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, all these guys. They raced through this first segment. Yeah. We all race. We hear about, well, you don't want to be back there in the hornet's nest. You don't want to be back there in the hornet's nest because back there is where things are going to mix up. You may get caught up in a caution or get caught up in an accident. So we make it through this first of these two races, or the first segment, I should say. And so we got these guys that did survive, and they're up at the front. And this is probably going to be like, if you're looking on paper before the race starts, this is probably going to be some of your all-stars. What's the best idea? Let's invert the field and put them in the back where that they're in this hornet's nest where they'll probably not make it to the full race. So, yeah.
And I mean, I'm typically pro inversion in All-Star race, but it's when it's All-Stars. And your slower All-Stars are at the front. You know what I mean? Like not your Cody Wares at the front of an All-Star race. I mean, it just had no luster, no speciality to it. At least not for me.
I agree.
Like zero.
Yeah.
Like I almost could care less, and you will rarely hear me say that about any kind of race, let alone a cup race.
Right.
Like, what if these guys hadn't ran? Like, what if HMS had said, "Okay, Bowman, you're the only one going to run in these prelims. Everybody else, like, would NASCAR have punished these teams if they had kept their cars out of the Wreckfest prelims?"
Yeah, I think that was discussed and it was mandatory from what I'm understanding. Even the trip up there was mandatory. Like if say a lower team just didn't want to do the whole shebang, even try to get in, but it was mandatory. Which I mean, I guess I can understand at least to some degree. If you're having a show like that, you want people there. But I don't know, the whole it's just a problem.
Well, and it's just trying.
And it wasn't really not to cut you off there. And it wasn't Dover's fault. It wasn't the track's fault. The track put on a better Dover show with cup cars that we've saw in a while. I think it encourages. That was the first time in the new package there. I'm looking forward to a full points race with the new package of Dover. See, we got not that though.
I mean, I can't, and to kind of piggyback off that, Matt, I just can't understand who sat in a room and said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take away Dover's points race and make that the All-Star. Like, okay, if you'd have told me, I'm just using this as an example. If you'd have said to me, we're going to take one of Bristol's dates and make Bristol the All-Star race. Well, I don't know that I love that. I would have been like, okay, that makes sense. We know what Bristol is. It's a short track. We know how awesome it looks at night. I mean, those kind of things. There's so much about it. And I'm not saying I want that to happen, but I'm just saying I could have at least understood where you're coming from. Nothing about this made any sense other than evidently Fox had to have the All-Star race and NASCAR had to figure out how to stick it in and where they were going to take that points-based race away from with, the additions of tracks we have now and stuff. It's just wild to me, though, that this was the solution.
Yeah. Well, that leads to the question, what would you like to see out of an all-star race? What is your kind of solution? I'll jump in and start. I guess I'm old school. I think Charlotte is its home, and we should go back to Charlotte. We should build that luster. It makes the Coke 600 bigger. It makes the Charlotte as the heart of NASCAR bigger, which I think has kind of gone down a bit. I realize that's an odd statement, as it certainly is, but just more activities there embeds that even more so. There's already all week there. Most of the teams are doing their fan days, their stuff. Add in a weekend before that, do your All-Star, maybe ARCA, whatever you want to mix in there, maybe ARCA trucks, I don't know. Then all the stuff that happens in Charlotte that week, then into Coke 600 weekend, like that's a major affair. And it feels like a major affair and a big deal. Charlotte, the perfect track, the original track with lights, all that. If not that, I don't know, maybe looking at a short track situation, although I really don't think that's the answer. Possibly like rotating a new track every year I could be sold on, but I don't know. For me, I think it should go back to pretty much what it was, as Sean said, in the 90s and through the 2000s.
To me, I agree 100% with what you said. To me, All-Star race and then Coke 600 is like the duels and the Daytona 500. I think that should be your big kind of almost mid-season. Like you start the season off with that big 2-weekend thing in Daytona, and then around the middle of the season you have that big 2-weekend thing in Charlotte. And I'd love for them to go back to that. They probably never will, but I would love for it to happen.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that completely. I mean, because let's talk back to the history for a minute. When did we move away? Well, I'm pretty sure the first All-Stars race away was the COVID deal, right? When they had to run it at Bristol but I just assumed that was a one-off and we were going back to Charlotte the next year. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then people will say, well, the racing wasn't good at Charlotte at the time. Okay, well, we lived through all that. We lived through when Jimmy Johnson couldn't be beat there, no matter if it was All-Star or whatever. Well, now the racing's really good at Charlotte, so there's no reason for it not to go back there. And I agree with everything both of you guys said. I mean, it's kind of like this 2-week awesome period. Like, you can go down to Charlotte and do all these different things, visit those race shops, go to the fan days. I just can't see where the downside is of moving it back to Charlotte and just keeping it there in its home where it's always been.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll just say the first race I ever went to in person was with Matt and the crew chief and Jerry, and that was at an All-Star race in Charlotte. And that was a spectacle that is burned in my brain. I can remember so much about that, and I know what that felt like, and that felt like going to an All-Star event of a major sport. This is not what this felt like this weekend. So, I mean, it was a race. It wasn't a horrible race. It was a confounding race with a lot of weird decisions, but it did not feel like an all-star race. It felt like a race for the sake of a race.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me ask y'all
this. Good
this.
line right there. I like that. It felt like a race for the sake of a race, and it really did. Not to cut you off, South.
Now, are y'all willing to give up the formerly Roval date, the fall Charlotte date, to move the All-Star race before the 600?
Why do you have to?
I don't think you need to.
I mean, I'm just saying, if NASCAR's ever going to do it, they are going to want to give that date to another track.
I still think the best idea is what Matt said. You do a 2-weekend thing there, man.
I think, and I've seen some talk about this, making it a Thursday night show. I think something like that could be looked into.
Yeah.
But myself, I'll give up fall Charlotte for.
I was going to say my answer to that. Yeah, my answer to that. I think it would be yes, because I think you can make more enthusiasm for the sport out of if you go back and you begin to rebuild that process of making it a big deal. A lot of ifs there, I guess. I think it could be better for the sport to have the All-Star race than the Fall Charlotte race if done correctly. So I probably would say yes, although that's a tough one, obviously.
Yeah, I guess I'm with y'all. I would say yes too if I absolutely had to make that decision. Another way I wouldn't mind seeing it is if it's like, all right, we just can't have it at Charlotte for some reason, is doing like what we did like with North Wilkesboro and going to places we used to go to and revitalize them. But I know that costs a lot of money to do that. But that would be something like an all-star race at Rockingham, for example. Maybe that would be a cool thing to see. Those kind of things maybe, but I don't know. But I don't think NASCAR is going to do that either because of the financial implications of getting those places going. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be cool to keep it in the Carolinas. I mean, even if you, like you were saying, if you can't do it in Charlotte, do at least have that Carolina connectivity there at Rockingham or
Bowman Gray.
Bowman Gray.
I don't think you can do the Clash and the All-Star race at Bowman Gray. And I think the problem, too, if they're trying to turn the Clash, and it seems to be, I mean, it has been for a handful of years now, into these very short track type situations, and the All-Star race should be the opposite of that. I think it needs to be on a mile and a half, or I've saw some people wanting Daytona to be for the All-Star race. I don't know that I want that, but I think I would rather have that than the short track package if the Clash is going to be the short track exhibition. Then that'd give you a big exhibition, a little exhibition, so to speak, track wise. I do
think it's funny that the two exhibition races this year are the two that have felt the longest to watch from beginning to end.
That's true. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet, because next week you get a Tim Duggar concert right in the middle of the race, brother, for some reason. We'll talk about some more decision makings.
I saw that and I was convinced it was a joke. Like, it seems like a joke we would make in our group chat talking about NASCAR's love of Tim Duggar.
You know what I love? How did Brad Paisley get booked for the pre-race, but then Tim Duggar gets the big halftime show? How does Brad Paisley feel right now?
Brad Paisley doesn't have Thanksgiving dinner if Dale Jr.
That's true. He's more likely to have it with me, so you guys.
I don't know. We've saw this in the 600 the last few years. These mid-race kind of halftime shows, I guess, is what they're going for. I absolutely hate it.
I do too. It's so stupid.
And the longest race of the year. Let's make it longer. Like of all, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the 4 stages either. I don't understand why we do 4 stages in this race. Yeah, it's longer, but it's no different than any other race as far as. I don't know. I just don't get it. Does that make it more special? I guess maybe because there's more points on the line, but I think it just seems odd.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
But I mean,
this one for sure.
I'm pumped for the 600 though. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that's some more odd decision making there.
So Denny Hamlin won this thing, huh?
Oh yeah. We never did officially address that. Denny Hamlin is your All-Star winner,
and that's it. Let's move on. Beyond the banking. Here we go.
Connor Zillage had a good run.
He did.
He did, but who cares? It's a weird thing to say.
Artificial, not for sure, good run, but it's a good run.
But he did, yeah. Good to see you mention. Austin Dillon showed some speed out of the RCR cars. If you want to go that route, Noah Gragson ended up with a solid run, but I mean, none of that should be said for an All-Star race. Ultimately,
no. The only thing that really should be said is that I picked Denny Hamlin to win, and that Denny Hamlin won.
This is a fact.
Congratulations.
All right.
Well, I picked Chase Elliott, and he didn't even make the race.
He didn't even race. Yeah.
Brother, I picked Kyle Larson, and I don't know. Maybe he was in it. I don't know.
I don't know that he completed a lap in that feature. I had Briscoes, and we went 1-2 sides at least.
Yeah.
That.
Love it for y'all.
We don't even like it.
Well, there's no fantasy this week, so I had to get my win in when I could.
Well, hopefully that can give you some turnaround on fantasy.
Turning point of my season now.
See, Silas,
That's why we got 4 stages, so I can get more fantasy points to try to catch back up.
What you just did was the equivalent to Casey Kane winning the fan vote, but then winning the whole thing, brother. See, I remember that. That was a good All-Star race.
Michael Waltrip. I mean, a huge story in the 90s when he did it with the Wood Brothers. Like, that was something that was embedded for a decade or more. I mean, and then, Okay. We've ranted enough on NASCAR. We're going to run ourselves in the ground. We are excited for the 600, despite what it may seem.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll be so much more positive next week.
That's right. All right, that's it for the lead lap. That moves us on to the boring report, where we break down dirt tracking, short tracking, and the ARCA series, which is where we'll start. ARCA series in Toledo for short track action, where we saw a similar story as we saw in this series. The young Tristan McKee dominant again with a victory. Spire's baby boy really impressive in this ARCA series. We'll see. I thought recently Michael McDowell said he planned to race until Tristan McKee took over his car, so that you may have a little glimpse of the future of Spire there, I guess.
You got 3 races left, Michael McDowell.
Max Reeves started on the pole. Looked like he was going to have something to say about that early, but a flat tire sent him spinning. He did make a huge comeback late in the race, drove all the way back up to second place, but then got into it with Bowman, and then his car it just seemed to lose power. I don't know, something happened to it, but it ended Max Reeves' day. But I thought he was the only one that looked like he may have something for McKee in this race.
I mean, we've seen it with our own eyes. This kid is good. He's going to be a great driver. To be as young as he is, it's wild.
It really is insane, man.
Just stick him in the pipeline, man. I mean, he's already there, but just another one of those guys. We keep talking. I mean, we're a broken record at this point, but the crop of young talent is just ridiculous right now, and he is certainly a big part of that.
The kids is pretty good.
Yeah, the kids are all right. We did see a wild kind of crash into the styrofoam walls, those old school styrofoam, like it's the early 2000s safety walls, and it created quite the situation. But Andy J involved in that, and if you saw Andy J get out of the car, you saw him had his sunglasses on under the helmet, climbed under the car, said, "Hang on a minute." He was trying to get him to give him a minute, climbed under there, was looking to see what was wrong with it, got back in the car, got in the radio, told the crew what was wrong with it, then was kind of petitioning the officials to take his car first because he wanted to get back out there. Just fun stuff from Andy J, man. That dude's a blast.
This guy's probably my favorite driver at this point, man.
Yeah.
Also, was he wearing Vans?
I don't think, but it did look like it.
I thought he had on Vans. I was like, my man.
I think he's got some racing shoes kind of made to look like that, actually.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, that's your old school driver attitude. That's what, us old heads, us unks love to see.
That is true. We like that big unk energy. We saw awesome late race battle between Nitro Motorsports teammate Isabella Robusto and Thomas Annunziato. They were beating a bang, and finally Isabella had enough, gave him a shot, moved him way up the hill, and took the spot. But I thought that was an interesting note, and another great run for Isabella Robusto. We'll definitely shout out. We've mentioned her here before.
Yeah, she's awesome.
But a pretty fun little ARCA race at that short track at Toledo. I like when they're on their solo weekends. I think those are kind of fun outings for the ARCA series.
Agreed.
That'll move us on to the dirt track, as we'll break down the Lucas Oil Late Model Series. Supposed to have been a full weekend show for them. Weather was not to let that happen, and we only saw a Thursday night race, which ended up being the whole shebang for that one. But looked like big sexy Brandon Overton was about to break his year-long winless streak. Led 27 of the first 30 laps, had it checked out, but was not to be. As once again, the real deal Hudson O'Neal doing what he's doing this season, come through late with pulled off a victory. Man, he just had that low line working. Everybody was trying to get that top to work in. It was so choppy. It was really kind of wild.
Eating people up there, man.
And it was, dude.
But yeah, I thought Overton was going to pull it off, but man, Hudson O'Neal is he's inevitable this year.
Dude, he is. He's having a absolutely remarkable season. His 13th overall win of the season already.
Craziness.
We mentioned Ricky Thornton Jr. got off an awful start of the night, awful weekend. Had an issue in practice qualifying. They ended up starting a backup car, started last. And then had a massive incident with Max Blair at one point, but still fought his way back up to second.
Yeah,
pretty impressive stuff. If RTJ's had kind of a rough year this year. It was good to see him prevail over all the obstacles and have a good run the other night. From there, we'll keep the dirt tracking going as we got to look at the show in Eldora. No high limit racing this week, but we saw a lot of those guys double up with the World of Outlaws for that big weekend in Eldora at the famed track. They were calling it the Let's Race 2 weekend. We saw 2 USAC races and 2 World of Outlaw races. Pretty cool little weekend up there.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I didn't get to check out any of the USAC stuff, but man, the sprint car stuff was pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. The Friday night's USAC wingless sprints, we saw a great battle between Kyle Cummins, the Macho Man, Brady Bacon, and Justin Grant. Cummins led late, but Grant was absolutely ripping on the top, coming to the checkers. Grant with a slider, Cummins with a crossover, and Grant ultimately slammed hard in the concrete wall, and Cummins took the win. Bacon second. Then night 2, the reverse, as the Macho Man, Brady Bacon, he had the bacon sizzling as he led from lap 1 onward, absolutely dominating run, up by 4 seconds at one point. And the sprint cars, night 1, a absolute masterclass by our boy Rico Abreu.
Yeah.
We saw Buddy Kofoid, Jill Celsi, they battling early, but just was inevitable. Rico, as soon as that full fuel load burned off, man, he was gone. Got a big win for Tony Stewart Racing. Got Tony Stewart's on track there at Eldora.
Man, nothing makes me happier, I don't think, in the racing world than when I see, if I miss the race, if I see a clip of Rico climbing on top of that car, man, I love it. Love seeing Rico get done. They should make that his name, Matt, the inevitable Rico Abreu. I like that. Boy, that's another. We'll put that along with Mr. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good stuff all around, man. I mean, like you. I mean, everything you was just saying. But I did think some of that battle going on between Brown and Celsi at the beginning was it was awesome. They're just going back and forth there. But you started seeing that Kofoid and Rico stuff going on behind them, and you knew. And once Rico got around him, man, that was it.
Yeah, cool to see Rico jump over. I mean, he's high limit regular, but jumped over World of Outlaws, and we do see that throughout the season. But cool to see him jump over there and get a huge win, especially at Eldora. Pardon me. Night 2, completely different story though. It's we saw. Just a second, gentlemen. I messed it up there a little bit, but we're okay. Night 2, Brady Bacon back in this one, and saw him battling with Logan Schukert. They had an absolute war going on at one point. Rico, who was, he was in the mix looking for a sweep, but was not to be, as we saw Logan Schukert pull off a victory. An emotional victory as he got out in victory lane, pointing up to the sky, honoring his grandfather, Bobby Allen, who was the very first World of Outlaws race winner at Eldora back in 1978. Wow. So that's a pretty cool little story there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to see him get emotional in victory lane, man. I love seeing stuff like that, man. You can tell when something really means just a little bit something more than just a win, and that definitely did. So it was really cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And love something like that with such history. I mean, Eldora with such a historic place. It's just a really cool moment. Cool little weekend of racing there. Their Let's Race 2 weekend, but it was really cool. And odd. Yeah, odd too. Yeah, Eldora on my bucket list of tracks. Certainly the top of my dirt track list. But interesting too, this Let's Race 2 weekend, as the USAC's deal is with Flow Racing and the World of Outlaws with Dirt Vision. So competing networks kind of there covering this whole weekend. I thought that was entertaining, or interesting, I should say. But
we have to try to get that Dirt Vision sponsorship too. We've been working on Flow with Dirt Vision. Yeah. We're looking at you too. So
yes,
whichever of you wants to give us a little sponsorship first, we'll put your product over. So no competition.
The moral of the story is, if you want to give us money, we'll talk about you. So Dirt Vision, Flow, your name is Frank down the road. If you want us, Frank, we'll put you over, brother.
We don't really even want money, just free races to watch.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Freedom Factory Plus, Cletus, where are you at? We'll take that. Definitely want to watch announced this week. Richard Childers, 80 years old, will be racing in one of the Crown Vic races over at the Freedom Factory on the Freedom Plus. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I don't know. I enjoyed hearing Danny Downforce, wherever he's going by now, talking about that and saying he wasn't getting anywhere near it.
I did hear that as well. Yeah. Just going to let that be. I think the whole gang of them's racing in that. Several of those guys from RCR, actually. That'll be something to see. I wish I could watch those as well, but too many streaming services. Yeah. Props to you for having your own, Cletus. That's pretty cool, but it's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
Yeah, give us a free account, Cletus, because with us, you could probably increase your social media following, 3 people.
By 0.3%. It's huge numbers. We got huge margins here, guys. Mm-hmm. All right, that's going to be it for the Boring Report. And that moves us beyond the banking. And it is all about the Indy 500. The time is almost here. As we saw qualifying go down over the weekend. Incredible speeds. Alex Palou, a heartbreaker. It looked like Alexander Rossi was going to pull it off and then was to be denied. Earlier it looked like Rosenquist had it for a minute as well in that Fast 6. But Alex Palou went out, dropped down. When I was watching, when I saw he hit 241 dropping down into the corner, I knew it was over for Rossi.
That was insane. Is there a qualifying that's any more fun than the Indy 500 qualifying, man?
No.
As I was watching the Fast 6, I was like, why wasn't I watching this instead of the All-Star?
Yeah.
Dude, it was so much. And like you said, Matt, when he hit that 241, it was like, well, this is done.
Yeah. Ended up with an average 231.9 on his 4 laps. Took him to the pole. Interesting. He was the winner of the race last year, so that'll be interesting. But I think some guys got stuff to say. However, it turned around, speaking of Rossi, on Monday practice, as we're recording a night later than our typical schedule, did get us to see Monday practice. Rossi with a monster impact, man. It was scary. So, I honestly think had Pato not been the wherewithal to try to turn and spin himself out of the way, that this would have been a much worse situation, God forbid. But nonetheless, Rossi ended up with he had to have a procedure on a finger and a procedure on an ankle, but he is saying he will be back ready to go before Friday practice, and the team are saying that car will be rebuilt and back ready to go before Friday practice, which will be both impressive and monumental tasks. But I'm glad Rossi's okay, and especially Wild, a front row starter there, turned around such a big incident.
Man, I think like what you said, I think if Pato hadn't have done what Pato was able to do, I think we'd be having a really different conversation right now, quite possibly. And so I'm just glad things wasn't worse than they were.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But, I mean, we got some fast cars going into this thing. Clearly, guys, it's going to be a wild Indy 500.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah, me either. So exciting. And let's not forget Friday, the Weenie 500. It's coming. We learned this week there is a new entrant this year. The corn dog has entered the field.
Get that out of here. I don't want no corn dogs in my weenie race.
I want to know, does that stick that's sticking out of the back of the corn dog, does that provide some kind of an unfair amount of downforce or drag?
It does seem like some aerodynamics are in play there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust it, man.
Oddly enough, I had corn dogs for supper this evening, so I guess you know where my allegiance is.
The fix is in. The fix is
right.
in.
Waldo's an old corn dogger. I knew it.
I may be a Chad Knaus guy, boys.
Sean and Reba loving them corn dogs. Yeah, I can't wait for Carb Day Friday and a proper pit crew competition on Friday. Learn something NASCAR.
Yeah, really.
But then, of course, leading into the big show, I can't wait. The atmosphere at the Indy 500, it's unmatched in motorsports. It's just truly incredible to see 350,000 plus people there. It's unbelievable. I can't wait to witness it, even on television. We spoke of bucket list there. That's certainly a bucket list of mine to go to the Indy 500 one year. It ain't cheap to do, though. I'll assure you that.
I just don't know how I would handle that 6 a.m. cannon or whatever.
Yeah.
As a guy who likes to sleep late, I feel like that would mess up my whole week.
All right, that's going to do for Beyond the Banking. That puts us into the Hall of Fame, where we show off Hall's finds, goodies from our collection. But this week, Mr. Size, he has something special found on a Hall, and we're going to turn it over to you, brother.
Well, I actually didn't find this. My sister found this a couple of weeks ago. It was my birthday, and I come from a big family of thrifters. So my whole family loves thrifting, and my sister was down at I think Haven of Rest thrift shop in Bristol, Tennessee, I believe. And she saw this NASCAR hat. And, it's a FedEx racing hat. It's, new, still got all the little cardboard stuff in there. And she was like, oh, it's a racing hat. I'll buy it for my brother for his birthday. And she said, it had an autograph on it. She didn't know who the autograph was. So it had this autograph on it right here. And, I got it for, my present. And I didn't recognize the autograph either, so I did a little research, and a Joe Gibbs autograph.
Oh.
So I feel like I had to do a Hall of Fame this week to show off my new autographed Joe Gibbs FedEx Racing hat here, just to rub it in Jeff's face after he got big shouted by Coach Gibbs there last year at Martinsville. Now I got the autographed hat.
Well, that's quite a nice hat, man.
Yeah, it is pretty sweet, yeah.
That's
pretty cool.
That's epic, man, to find that
Super Bowl winning coach.
Yeah.
NASCAR.
Yeah, dude. That's incredible.
No, that's an amazing find. I mean, especially finding a thrift shop, Joe Gibbs. Yeah. I mean, in sports in general, what a historic name. Yeah. It's really cool, man.
Wow.
You think that Joe Gibbs has ever been thrifting?
Maybe in his way young days, but it's been a long time or so, I feel like.
No, that's an awesome piece size. Yeah. That's great.
Has Ty Gibbs ever been thrifting?
No.
Does Ty Gibbs even know what thrifting is?
He may know what grifting is, but I don't know.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, no, that's a fantastic find size. That's crazy, honestly. An awesome addition to, any racing or sports collection for that matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that rules, man. And that's a good birthday present. So
that's real happy with it.
Awesome, dude.
Good stuff for this week's Hall of Fame. That puts us on the cool down lap. We're going to slowly take this thing home. Looking forward to the greatest day in motorsports. And really, awesome weekend. We got tons of racing all weekend. It's going to be fantastic. Can't wait. Before we do that, we're going to look at first our paint scheme of the week. This is any car that raced on any track, any series over the past weekend is eligible. So here we go, guys. Scheme of the week. Sean, we'll start with you this week.
So my favorite scheme this week was the 48 Ally car. They called it, I don't even really know what this means, but the Ally Dragons Chevrolet. But I just thought the color that they added on there, it looked like there's dragons breathing on the car. There's a dragon on the side of the car. I just thought that was really sweet, man. So Mr. Bowman and the Ally Dragons car gets my vote for this week.
This man loves him a big lizard on a Chevrolet at an All-Star race.
Darn right.
There you go. The dragon. I like that as well. It's very cool. Silas, we'll jump to you.
Well, Mr. MJ and his love of Haynes will probably hate me for this one, but my favorite scheme of the week was Connor Zilic in the All-Star race in the Jockey 150th anniversary car. I just really like that kind of a creamy yellow color on the car. That was a pretty cool looking car.
Yeah, absolutely unique color there. I thought it was cool as well. How about you, Jeffro?
Well, mine is not a new scheme, but it's a scheme that I love, and he don't run it as often as I wish. And unfortunately, we didn't get to see him run it much, but Ryan Preece, the Mohawk car, I love that car. And the only thing that could have made that car cooler was if you could light those wheels on fire and make it look like Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. That's exactly what he did. I get what you were doing, Ryan. It wasn't about trying to finish the race. It was trying to look cool, and you did it. Ghost Rider Priest, I'm with you, baby.
Well, he did look like Ghost Rider there, but I too like that Mohawk scheme. Good choice. I'm going to give it to the Tricon Garage Tanner Gray's number 15 Place of Hope Toyota, the Greg Biffle tribute scheme, painted just like his scheme when AmeriQuest teamed up with the Place of Hope back in the day. I thought that was pretty cool and a nice little tribute.
Yeah, that thing was beautiful.
Good stuff. Lots of good schemes. I had some others on my list. I had the Byron's 24, the Orange Exalta scheme. I thought that was pretty cool looking. I like the Declaration of Deals Ram that Haley was in. I thought that changed up the look of that with that blue and red, white, and blue was pretty nice.
After watching that Casey Musgraves performance, I might choose that number 45 ACM car Tyler Reddick was driving.
Hey, unrelated to Spacey Casey, I almost did make that mine just because I thought it was a cool looking car. It kind of reminded me of when I was a kid and really enjoyed watching that. And I don't know, this paint scheme looked a little old school to me, so I like that one too, Size. But she definitely upped it some.
Yeah. I like the crossoverness of it. I thought they could have did a little more with the logo, personally, but I mean, I didn't hate it as well. But I like the crossover part of that.
Yeah. I
liked also from Tricon that Specticide Toyota that Brandon Jones ran, number 1 truck. I thought that was good looking. And the SS Greenlight Racing Garrett Smithley Night Fire Protection number 0 kind of looked like that heat wave car that Squirrel drives in the ARCA. I thought that was pretty cool. And shout out BJ McLeod in that Pigeon Forge coaster at DGM Racing. I thought that was cool too.
Yeah, we're always going to love that one.
Absolutely.
Always.
Good stuff, and we're going to have a plethora of schemes to choose from for next week, as almost everybody's announcing special schemes, so that'll be fun.
I was literally just thinking that today. I was seeing all these posts, and I'm like, man, the next week's paint scheme of the week is going to be hard.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait to next year so I can pick the Red Bull 48 every week.
Oh.
I'm just trying to trigger Jeff right now. I can't wait to pick that every week, brother.
Time will tell. You very well may be able to from some of the rumors out there. If not the year after next, also.
Yeah, the year after next it could happen.
I happen to know an old man that can afford that buyout pretty easy.
No doubt. All right, then we'll move into our predictions for the Mega Memorial Day weekend. We're going to do both this week, Indy 500 and Coke 600. We'll start with Indianapolis, since that's where the weekend's going to start. Let's hear it. We're going to go around. Make your pick. Who drinks the milk? Who wins the Indy 500? Jeff, we'll start with you.
Malukas.
Oh, man. There you go.
Yep, that's my pick, man. I think he's going to pull it in. I don't know. I've got that feeling. So,
I think that is an excellent choice, Size. What about you?
Man, Malukas was my pick. I was definitely convinced he's getting his first win there, and I think it's going to be a Team Penske weekend, so I'll switch it over. I don't think it's going to be Newgarden, but I think it'll be Scott McLaughlin then.
Scotty Mack. I like that. All right. What about you, Sean?
I'm going to stick with Penske and go with Newgarden.
There you go. A Penske trifecta here from my cohorts.
Team Penske, man.
I can't disagree, but I'm going to have to, as I think we see the 14 Supertex AJ Foyt Racing Santino Ferrucci in victory lane in Indianapolis.
it could happen, man. He's been fast.
Gas speed, they always show up at Indy, and what a sight that would see to see AJ Foyt back in victory lane at Indy.
Yeah.
All right, from there, we'll take our flight with Catherine Legg down to Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600. And we will make our predictions for the Coca-Cola 600. Who wins the Worlder? We'll start with you, Sean.
I'm going to keep riding this train, and I'm going to say that he ain't in the 48 yet, but he gets his first win in the Cup Series this weekend. Connor Zilic. We've seen it happen before, and we've seen strange things happen in the 600. So I got a feeling that Connor Zilic is going to get it done in the 600 and be one of those first timers in the 600 that we've seen before.
Well, there you go, first time winner. How about you, Size?
Hey, I said it's going to be the captain's weekend, so I'm sticking with Team Penske, man. Mr. YRB, Ryan Blaney, taking it.
There you go, Penske perfect in Charlotte. What about you, Jeff?
My favorite win of last year was the Coke 600. My man is going back-to-back this year. Ross, the boss, taking home the win. Trackhouse is getting back on track, and this is going to be the real beginning of it.
There you go, Melon Man for the win from Jeff. I'm going to give it to, I think he is closing in on that win this season. He ran great this race last year. Chase Briscoe becomes a Coke 600 winner. I feel like I've picked Briscoe many times this year, and it's not worked out.
Well, hey, but it could be, man. Briscoe's fast, so you never know.
I'm just saying there's been one oval already, and it was a Penske weekend. One oval for Indy. It's happening again.
Wow.
Okay.
It's going to be fun to watch. Can't wait for the greatest day in motorsports. Although no Monaco F1. They did take that away from us. I will miss that. Getting up early in the morning for that. Canadian Grand
I'll
Prix.
trade a Monaco F1 for a Weenie 500 any day.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Number of Weenie 500s I've watched, 100%. Number of F1 races I've watched, 0.0003%.
What about the weenie race in Monaco? That's what
Oh my gosh. I don't believe you could get a mobile around that hairpin, but I would watch it.
Oh, I bet that corn dog can get around there, bud. You just rock back on
Put some
that
corn
stick.
dog nuggets on that thing.
Oh, man. Can't wait for it, though. Like you said, it's the best racing day of the year, one of the best weekends of the year. And a lot of, we got a full NASCAR weekend, too. I mean, you mentioned, a lot of really cool paint schemes. I mean, they're bringing the heat with these patriotic schemes this year. I can't wait to cover all that next week.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a fun episode next week.
That it is. It's been real and it's been fun, but it's over now. We're going to head out. We will be back next week, of course. If you have not subscribed here to the Arson Brothers Network, give a like on this video. Check out some of our other projects we talked about earlier. Got some cool new videos coming soon.
Hey, Matt.
Yes,
Were there any corn dogs at that Dollywood eating festival?
Not on the pass, but there was the classic Dogs and Taters booth where you can get that foot-long corn dog. Good stuff. I did have a foot-long hot dog, so, I mean, I got in on the...
So you got a hot dog. You didn't get a corn dog.
That's right. No, it's team hot dog over here. All right, we will be back next week, gentlemen. It's been real. It's been fun. Good night and good luck.